All right, man. Cheers.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Oh yeah, now it's starting to get more of like that apple taste to it a bit.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about this before we jump in?
I mean, other than this is just my favorite brand of sake.
Yeah.
Azakura from Akita. I forget where, from Yokota.
Yeah.
Then whenever I see these two characters, I know I should buy this. That's basically just how it is. It tastes a little bit like green apple. Pretty nice.
Yeah, it's got. I really really enjoy the aftertaste that it's given.
Yeah.
It's kind of. Yeah.
We'll let it sleep for a day. You'll get more of that apple taste out of it. But today, we are talking about taking out the trash.
We are.
I'm very excited to talk about this today.
I'm excited to talk about it too, because I think a lot of people talk about like a lot of culture shock things when they first move here, and taking out the trash, I never hear as being like one of the big talking points.
Yeah.
And at least in my opinion, I think it's the biggest, especially if you're coming from a place like the US where it's like you just kind of throw everything away into the same trash bin. Yeah, I don't know.
When I first moved, the thing that shocked me was that they gave me a booklet of rules and instructions on how
booklet too. It's like properly
about how to take out the trash. And like one of the things that really hit me is that trash day is 5 days a week here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's intense.
Like in the States, like where I am, trash day is once a week.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But so like for you, like, because that's something that I see a lot of people, especially on like the foreigners in Japan groups on Facebook, they complain about it.
Yeah.
They don't really talk about it. But for you, if you had to summarize what taking out the trash is like in Japan, what would you say?
Anxiety. Anxiety. Pure unfiltered anxiety. Here's a quick example. I fear. Okay, so let me preface this by saying, most places in Japan are very strict on garbage.
Yeah.
I would say the further you get into the city, the less strict they are, because the workers are just so busy that they don't really have time to kind of sift through garbage. Yeah. But especially out in the countryside, they are extremely strict out in those like rural neighborhoods. Where I am, I'm kind of like on the outskirts of the downtown Tokyo, so it's kind of a mix of both. And it's almost a little embarrassing to say this, but I watch for the garbage truck to pick up my garbage every time I put out. That's how much anxiety I have over the garbage.
Really?
Like just this morning, today's recycling day, right? And you have to peel the little wrappers off the PET bottles, the plastic bottles. And you got to remove the caps, right? You're supposed to take the wrappers off, put them in the normal trash, and put the caps in like their own bag.
Yeah.
And I put out my recycling this morning, and then probably, so they usually come and pick up the garbage around like 10. And I remembered, I don't know, sometime around like 9 or 9:30, like, oh, I forgot to take the little wrappers off. And so I remember this morning looking out my window, waiting for the garbage truck to show up and pick up the garbage, and I just watched them until they picked up the garbage and took mine, and I was like, okay, I'm safe.
Yeah. You know, so for me, when I moved here, right?
Yeah.
I got a lot of anxiety. Because I wanted to be the good gaijin. I didn't want to be the foreigner that causes the problems.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah. But I remember though, it was funny because I accidentally put out the wrong type of trash on the day. Like I put out regular. So in Japan you have, I don't know what it's like for you, but for me it's like you have burnable trash, you have paper trash, you have plastic trash, and then you have recyclables like plastic bottles and cans and stuff. You also have glass.
Yes.
But that comes with that too. So like for me, I accidentally put out burnable trash on a paper day, and I was like,
how dare you?
Yeah, and I was just like, it's fine. They're gonna burn both of them, so why not? Yeah. And like I remember going the next day to put my trash out the next day, and I open it, and there is my bag of trash, and there's a sticker on it that says, "Please take out your trash on the proper day. This was the wrong day." Yeah. And I just felt so bad about that.
It's humiliating, right? Yeah. I had a similar experience. For me, it's always with recycling.
Okay.
Recycling is like, I guess maybe I'm just a filthy American and it is terrible at recycling. But when I first moved here, it didn't register in my brain that I needed to separate aluminum cans with plastic bottles. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, it's all recycle.
Yeah.
It just goes in the same bin, right?
Yeah.
But so I mixed the first week of my apartment. I mixed all those cans and the plastic bottles together. And then I got a sticker.
Okay.
And actually, there was another note, I think, from my neighbor.
Okay.
That's like, you need to separate this.
Okay. So first, for our Japanese viewers, explain what recycling and trash is like in the States.
Okay. So in most places in America, there's no such thing as differentiating the two. You just throw it all in one bin.
Like the recyclables.
I would say they're getting better now.
Okay. So you mean there's no recycling? It's just everything is in one thing.
I would say like you go into a restaurant or you go into like a shopping center. It's like there's just a garbage bin that you just throw it in.
Yeah.
But out in front of your house, usually there's like 3 bins. There's a garbage bin, a recycling bin, and a yard waste bin.
Okay. You guys have yard waste bins?
We have yard waste.
Oh, that's very civilized of you.
Yes, very civilized. You know, that's what happens when you have technology.
Yeah. Yeah. So growing up, right? We in my house we had a trash can and we had a recycling can, which was basically you put in cardboard, plastic bottles, anything that's like glass, plastic, or paper you put in there.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Right. Yeah, and then you would take that bin and so like in the States you have these big garbage bins that are kind of like go up to here on you, right?
Yeah, they're massive.
Yeah. And so we would just take the garbage can and we would just like pour it out into that recycling thing. Everything's all mixed together and we just put it out once a week and that was good.
Yeah.
And that's not what it's like here.
No, it isn't. It really isn't. Yeah. So I think Japan's doing the right thing, right? The rest of the world should be doing the exact same thing. Like going back home now, I feel disgusted.
Yeah.
Like looking at stuff.
It's like so wasteful.
What are you guys? What? You just threw that plastic bottle in the garbage. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But man, it is. If there is one thing that epitomizes the word mendokusai, it is garbage.
Yeah.
It is. Oh.
Dude, so like some of the crazy things that you have to do, right? So like you have, especially when it comes to recyclables, like so one thing that's crazy I thought was on like the items that you buy, they will have instructions like, well, they won't have instructions, but they'll say like, oh, the cap is plastic, the bottle is recyclable on the thing, right? So that you know how to do it. And I'm like, wait, so in Japan, when you're here with a plastic bottle, you have to take off the cap and take off the label. That goes into plastic, and then the bottle itself goes into the recyclables. Yeah. And then with cans, when you buy cans, you have to peel off the label. That's paper, and then you put the cans in the recyclables. Yeah. And when one thing that got me too is the milk cartons too. Like I don't know how many people do this, but like you have to like cut them up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I originally started doing that, and now I just kind of like just cut it and then just take out the fold, and then I take like a little piece of rope and tie them together.
Yeah. That's another thing. When you have paper and stuff, like cardboard things, you have to take rope and you have to tie it together.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work just to throw out the garbage.
Yeah. And then the thing that's confusing for me too is like depending on where you live, the rules are different. So like I lived in Nakano, I lived in Shinjuku, and now I live in Kawasaki, right? Yeah. So like in Nakano, you had to put the plastic bottles in the cans separately. Yeah. Like the cans and the plastic bottles were separate, right? So you had to get 2 separate bags. When I moved to Shinjuku, you put them together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to. So like you have the cans and the bottles in the same thing. And then here too, it's like that too. Yeah. But then I was like, wait, so I don't have to put them in separate bags anymore? Yeah. And then like sometimes you have to use clear bags. Yeah. So that the garbage people can see what's inside.
Yeah, exactly. I've had a couple garbage bags get rejected because I didn't use clear bags.
Yeah.
Like so there's like a special section at 7-Eleven, for example, that'll be like, these are garbage bags that are like sanctioned by the garbage people.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's crazy. Have you ever had to take out like large oversized garbage before?
It stresses, well, I mean all of this stresses me out, but it stresses me out a lot because of how much effort it takes. So you got to go buy like the little stickers and then call up the place and be like, hey, I want to, like if you have a chair, for example, I have a wooden chair that I want to throw away. Yeah. And then you got to like set up a time for them to come pick it up. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Like in the States, right? And this is kind of one thing that I like about the States. Natsumi saw this too, and she really liked it. Is like, if you have a large item that you don't need, you'll put it on your front lawn by the sidewalk. And if someone wants it, they'll come and pick it up or you get it, or you order it to have it ordered to throw away or something. Yeah. But in Japan, like people don't do that.
You know something that I really miss?
Mhm.
Back in the US, do you ever go to like the city dump?
Yeah, city
Yeah.
dump.
Yeah, so like
I got one of my Japanese textbooks there.
that's that's so funny.
Yeah.
I think that's my mom's favorite place because of all the places that I remember going with her, I think we probably went there the most.
Yeah.
She loves throwing stuff away.
Mhm.
But yeah, I have so many memories of just like we would take this, kind of beat up old pickup that the family had, just load it with garbage, throw a tarp on, and spend like 2 hours throwing garbage away. Which again, that's wasteful, but man, it was convenient.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean in the States too, you have like the dump area where you can drive to and you can take your trash there directly if you want to. And they'll have like a little room or a building or something where people will put down items that they don't need but maybe someone else might need. You can just grab them or something. Yeah, it was definitely an experience going there, and like I remember I went to, so like when I moved here to Japan, I didn't have any money. Well, we talked about it. I blew all my money really quickly. so I had to get things like a refrigerator and a microwave. So I went to a recycle shop, right?
Yeah.
And those are like independent businesses that are running and stuff, and they'll pick up trash for people. But there's no like municipal place where you can go and grab stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely pluses and minuses to each system.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, I miss the dump. For me, it's. I'll tell you one thing that I struggle with here in Japan is my apartment. I have a lot of things that I want to throw away, but I just can't be bothered with like going through the steps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have a coffee table in my room.
Yeah.
That honestly, I hate the table.
Yeah.
I hate the table. It's too low. I want chairs. I feel like a child sitting at it, but I don't want to throw it away just because it's just too much effort to get rid of.
Yeah. No, I get that. I mean, so I was kind of like that too. Like I have a piece of garbage over there that I've had there for like 3 months now. I just don't want to get rid of it. Like I put the part that I could throw away in the regular trash. I threw that away, and now the rest is just.
Yeah, especially like Amazon boxes. I order Amazon a lot. And Amazon gives you so much garbage when you order stuff.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of cardboard boxes from them. And it is a hassle trying to throw away cardboard boxes here because you got to like cut them up and you got to
put them together. Yeah.
Like I just want to crush it and put it in a bag and throw it away.
Yeah, like in the States, what's the process? You crush it, put it in the blue bin. You put the blue bin out once a week. You're good. But here it's like, okay, you have to like fold it up, and then you have to make it flat, and then you have to rope it up, and then on the day twice a week you have to take it out before 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And like that's another thing that's crazy is like the trash times are super early here.
Yeah. I haven't actually looked outside. When you throw away trash, is there like a designated area?
Yeah, so we have signs that Kawasaki City has for like, okay, this is where you put your trash out. They'll have the schedule on it for you to check,
Yeah.
So yeah, if you lose your booklet, you can always just look at the schedule there.
Yeah. So my garbage area is on the street.
Okay.
So I actually can't put my garbage out the night before.
Yeah.
So I have to specifically wake up early in the morning, like usually around 6 or 7 to put garbage out.
Yeah.
Because if I do it earlier, then people will complain about it.
Yeah.
Because it's literally in the street. So you got to drive around it if you set up the garbage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's something we should talk about too, is how they don't use trash bins here, taking out the trash.
Yeah. There's no trash bins at all. And I think the big reason for that is because in the US, they have like these giant dump trucks.
Yeah.
Or garbage trucks that it's actually kind of cool when you watch them. They have like this giant claw that comes out and grabs the garbage and just like dumps it so here they don't have that, obviously, just because having a truck that size never would work in Japan. So they have like smaller garbage trucks that like people get out of and like quickly try and throw the garbage in. So I think that's why, because if they had bins, like there's no way someone would be able to lift those.
Yeah, it's weird how like I remember when I first lived here, just seeing like a mountain of trash bags on the street, on the sidewalk, and it's like I'm gonna get this on my foot because some of it's leaking, you know. But that's what they have. Like sometimes there's an issue here too where like crows or cats will come by and tear up the bags.
Completely. My area is really notorious with crows.
Oh, really?
There's a ton of crows that live in my area. So yeah, on garbage day, my area has a net.
Yeah.
So like people will put down nets over the garbage to kind of stop things. But while I'm walking to work about like 2 blocks down from my apartment, there's an area that doesn't have a net, and that place has always just had like old food scattered around the street.
Yeah, dude, it's gross. Like you'll find noodles and stuff and soup and stuff.
Yeah, or like dead fish bits and
yeah. Can we just talk for a minute about how terrifying crows are here?
Crows are massive. they're like, you can't even classify them as birds. They're kind of like rival Godzilla monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty insane because like back in Seattle, like especially where I'm from, Bothell, it's like the area where all the crows in Seattle live. It's crazy.
Oh,
There's
really?
like 17,000 crows that live in Bothell, and they're all the crows that live in the greater Seattle area live in Bothell.
Really?
Yeah, they all fly back.
Is there a reason for that?
Because there's wetlands there that they all live in. Yeah, it's really crazy. But yeah, so there's a lot of crows there. But they're annoying because they're loud, but like they're really small, so they're not really a pest.
Their beaks are really small too.
Yeah. But the ones here are like nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
They're like bigger than a cat.
Yeah.
Like honestly,
Sometimes.
I'm surprised they don't attack cats and just carry them off.
Seriously, dude. I remember like seeing one that has a beak that's like this big, is like bigger than my thumb, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, what's crazy though is because they are so used to humans that they will come really close to you.
They don't even care.
Like I'm walking down the street and then there's a crow sitting on a fence and I'm like this far away from him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And did I tell you I got attacked by crows one time?
I want to hear this.
Okay. So it was on a trash day.
Okay.
Of course. But so at that time I was living in Nakano and I would go to McDonald's every morning for a coffee just to kind of like start my day out because I lived in this really small apartment when I was first there. So I went. It was a trash day, and so the McDonald's is by a park which is next to a center where all the garbage trucks are. Yeah. So the garbage trucks will come in and out on trash day from this building. So all the crows like to stay around there to see if they can get some pickings, right? Yeah. And so I was walking down the sidewalk, and I saw a crow in the sidewalk in front of me, just minding their own business. And I thought, okay, I'm a big human. It's going to move if I get closer to it. Yeah. So I start walking, getting closer. It's not moving. It's not moving. It's not moving. I'm like a few feet away from it. I'm like, okay, it's not moving. It goes, bah! Crap. So I move over to the left of it, and it moves over at the same time. It goes, bah! And then from behind me, I hear, bah, bah! And I look behind me, and there's a crow coming at my head, like flying towards me, coming at my head. I'm like, holy shit. So I'm like running, and I feel like it could have scratched me if it wanted to. It just wanted to scare me away. But I almost felt like its wings. I felt the wind from its wings on my hair. Oh my! And I was running like crazy away from there. And it was after that I found out that crows are monogamous and they have like a partner for life. So I probably thought I was messing with his girlfriend or something.
That's my wife, man.
Yeah.
Get away.
Dude, but ever since that day, like, I've been terrified of crows. I can't get close to them. And my son, who's like 2 years old, he doesn't know what crows are, but he likes birds, and he sees crows all the time. So in the books, when he sees a crow, he's like, ah! He's like, a bird. And like whenever he sees a crow, he starts running after them like, ah! I have to tell him.
Like, no, you'll be carried off.
Yeah. Dude, but they are like huge. And they don't care about humans at all. No. But that's because probably there's all this trash around, so they have all this food.
Yeah, they just probably think of us as like giant providers.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, the humans are here. I can't wait to eat their garbage.
Yeah, man. One thing though, talking about trash, and we talked about this in other places, is the lack of trash cans in Japan.
Yeah. And not just like out and about at like train stations, everything, which there's no trash cans. But also in events, a lot of events will like give like a message when things have concluded, like, hey, please bring your garbage home. Yeah. So like, I think sports games have kind of shifted tones a little bit because there's a lot more like foreigners coming in, just being in Japan now. So they've kind of changed. But baseball games, soccer games and stuff, like a lot of people are expected to, bring a garbage bag and carry their garbage home. That sucks.
Yeah, and it's funny because like that's something here that's kind of like atarimae. It's something that's just taken for granted. Is you take your trash home with you and you have to sort it according to the crazy rules. But in the States, like you never would have that. That's why there's so much crap on the floor.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? It kind of sucks. But at the same time, like going back home and like looking at cities, like, you go to Seattle. Seattle's dirty.
Yeah.
Seattle's a really dirty city. And you go around and you'll see garbage bins everywhere, but they're just filled to the brim with garbage. It's nasty garbage too.
Yeah.
And then once they're filled, people just leave garbage around. Like, once they're a full bin, like someone will just stop recording.
No, it's still going.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was broken. My bad.
All right. Okay. Well,
so there's all this trash everywhere.
But yeah, there's all this garbage there. And once someone sees a full bin, it's not like they're gonna hang on to it. They're just gonna, just dump it off wherever. Yeah. Like, oh, okay, well, the garbage. I'll just put it.
I'll put it on the side.
Yeah. Or some people just like throw it in the general vicinity. And so, on one hand, it sucks that there's not a lot of garbage here, but on the other, it's like this city is really clean compared to other large cities in the world.
It's like I don't think I've ever been to a city that's as clean.
Oh yeah,
as this here, Yeah.
But
anyways, I think that's a good time. This is good timing to end the conversation here. My mind's going a little bit crazy here.
Too much apples.
Cool, man. I'll talk to you next time.
See ya.